In the mid-19th century, Lagos was not just a city, it was a kingdom, a battleground, and the center of a deadly struggle for power, profit, and control. What happened in 1851 would change Lagos forever. What the British called victory, Lagos would remember as tragedy. In 1841, Lagos was shaken by a shocking event. Oba Oluwole, the ruler of Eko, died in a palace explosion caused by lightning. The strike was sudden, violent, and deeply symbolic. With his death, the throne of Lagos was left empty. And in Yoruba politics, an empty throne is an invitation to conflict. Two men emerged as rivals for the crown. The first was Prince Kosoko, the bold and popular grandson of Oba Ologun Kutere. Among many chiefs and warriors, he was seen as the rightful heir, strong, fearless, and deeply rooted in Lagos tradition. The second was Prince Akitoye, Kosoko's uncle, a man whose power did not come from warriors, but from his growing relationship with the British. Unknown to many in Lagos at the time, London had already made up its mind. British authorities issued a directive to their agent in West Africa, Consul John Beecroft. If necessary, Lagos was to be taken by force. The official reason was to end the slave trade, but control of Lagos meant control of trade, influence, and the coast. Kosoko first attempted to take the throne, but he failed. He was defeated and sent into exile in Porto Novo. For a moment, it seemed his story was over. But exile did not weaken Kosoko. It hardened him. 4 years later, in July 1845, Kosoko returned. This time, he came prepared. He seized power in a violent coup and chased Akitoye out of Lagos and into exile in Badagry. Kosoko became Oba, and under his rule, Lagos changed dramatically. Under Kosoko, Lagos became one of the most powerful slave trading hubs in the region. The trade flourished, money flowed, powerful chiefs and merchants prospered. Kosoko worked closely with major traders, including the Brazilian slave trader Domingo Martinez. To many in Lagos, Kosoko was a successful ruler, but to the British, he was a serious problem. Before his exile, Akitoye had ruled Lagos from 1841 to 1845. During his reign, he attempted to end slave trading and stop certain human ritual practices. But these reforms cost him support. Many chiefs turned against him, and without local backing, his rule collapsed. In January 1851, Consul John Beecroft met the exiled Akitoye in Badagry. An agreement was proposed. If Akitoye would ban the slave trade and align Lagos with British interests, the British would restore him to the throne. Desperate to regain power, Akitoye agreed. By November 1851, British warships appeared off the coast of Lagos. Among them was HMS Bloodhound. Beecroft attempted negotiations with Kosoko, demanding that he surrender the throne. Kosoko refused. Earlier that year, violent clashes had already erupted between supporters of both sides. War was now inevitable. The first battle took place in November 1851. Against expectations, Kosoko's forces resisted fiercely. British troops were killed. The attack failed. For a brief moment, Lagos had defended itself. In December, the British returned. This time, they came with overwhelming firepower. Naval ships Teaser and Bloodhound, supported by 23 armed boats, advanced on the city. Their cannons unleashed a terrifying sound. The The people of Lagos would later call it Agidingbi. Lagos did not fall easily. About 5,000 warriors defended the city under the command of General Oshodi Tapa. They fought to protect their homeland, street by street, house by house. But cannon fire tore through the city. From December 26, 1851, the battle lasted 5 brutal days. Lagos burned, homes were destroyed, lives were lost in unimaginable numbers. An Italian trader, Giambattista Scala, later wrote that the city was left in ruins. The population collapsed from about 22,000 people to just 5,000. Most of the survivors were children and the elderly. On December 28th, Kosoko fled Lagos with some of his chiefs, escaping to Epe. Behind him, he left a city soaked in smoke, blood, and grief. On New Year's Day, 1852, Akitoye was restored as Oba of Lagos. He signed a treaty banning the slave trade and aligning Lagos with British authority. He ruled briefly until his death in 1853, a death many believe was caused by poisoning. His son, Dosunmu, succeeded him. Just 10 years after the invasion, Lagos officially became a British Crown colony. What began as an anti-slavery intervention ended as colonial rule. The British called it victory. Lagos remembered it as tragedy. Was the 1851 invasion of Lagos truly the end of the slave trade, or was it the beginning of a deeper loss of freedom for Echo? Share your thoughts in the comments.